Every so often, a moment happens in WWE that shakes the very foundation of the company. This week, that moment came in the form of Jacob Fatu's shocking retaliation against Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. For weeks, the two powerhouse competitors had targeted Fatu with a series of ambushes and coordinated attacks, hoping to send a message. What they didn't realize was that Fatu is not the type of competitor who forgives or forgets. In front of a stunned live crowd and millions watching at home, he unleashed one of the most decisive and brutal statements of his career. The road to revenge. The rivalry began when Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed, both known for their raw power and aggressive styles, decided to make Jacob Fatu their common target. Their reasoning was simple: eliminate the newest threat before he had the chance to rise. Week after week, Fatu endured blindsides, double teams, and humiliation. Reed crushed him with his sheer size, while Breakker delivered his explosive speed and suplex-heavy offense. The WWE Universe watched with growing anticipation, waiting for the moment Fatu would finally strike back. That moment arrived with devastating force. A carefully planned retaliation. Unlike his attackers, Fatu did not act on impulse. He waited, biding his time, studying both men, and picking the perfect opportunity. His moment came after Breakker and Reed celebrated a tag team victory, believing they had firmly established their dominance. As the two men basked in the spotlight, Jacob Fatu stormed the arena with a purpose that was undeniable. The crowd erupted instantly, sensing what was about to unfold. This was not a sneak attack. It was a statement. The WWE Universe on its feet. The arena atmosphere shifted as soon as Fatu entered. Fans had seen his resilience and toughness before, but on this night they saw something different: cold determination. Every move he made carried the weight of weeks of frustration and months of heritage. When Fatu collided with Breakker, the impact shook the ring. Moments later, he sent Reed reeling, his strikes landing like thunder. It was not simply an attack, it was the unleashing of a storm. Targeting Breakker, Fatu focused first on Bron Breakker, the man who had taunted him the loudest. Breakker attempted to use his speed and raw strength, but he was no match for the ferocity of Fatu's onslaught. Suplexes, slams, and punishing strikes rained down on Breakker, leaving him unable to regain control. The audience watched in awe as Fatu neutralized one of WWE's most explosive young athletes, reducing him from dominant force to vulnerable target in minutes. Turning to Reed, but Fatu was not finished. As Reed tried to intervene, Fatu redirected his fury toward him. Reed, a man known for flattening opponents with his sheer size, found himself on the defensive. The clash of powerhouses drew gasps from the crowd as Fatu lifted Reed with shocking strength, slamming him to the mat in a display that few thought possible. Reed rolled out of the ring, stunned and shaken, his usual aura of invincibility shattered. The defining moment. The culmination of Fatu's retaliation came when he ascended the ropes. With Breakker down and Reed incapacitated on the outside, Fatu launched himself with breathtaking agility, delivering his signature splash onto Breakker with pinpoint precision. The arena erupted. Fans were on their feet, chanting and cheering as the message became crystal clear. Jacob Fatu was not to be underestimated, and any disrespect would be answered with force. Aftermath. Silence and shock. As Breakker lay motionless and Reed retreated, Fatu stood tall in the center of the ring. He did not need words. His actions had spoken louder than anything he could have said. The WWE Universe buzzed with excitement. Commentators struggled to find the words to capture what had just happened. This was not only revenge, it was the arrival of a new main event threat. fan reactions. Across the world, social media platforms lit up instantly with reactions. Fans praised Fatu's raw intensity, calling it one of the most powerful statements of the year. Memes, highlights, and replays of the splash flooded timelines as the world digested the magnitude of what they had witnessed. Many fans noted the symbolism. Two established stars had attempted to bury Fatu's rise, but instead they had become stepping stones for his emergence. What this means for Bron Breakker, the defeat and humiliation carry serious consequences. Having been positioned as one of WWE's fastest rising stars, he now faces the challenge of recovering from the most significant beatdown of his career. The image of Breakker laid out in the ring while Fatu stood tall above him will not soon be forgotten. His confidence and possibly his career trajectory has been shaken. What this means for Reed Bronson. Reed, meanwhile, must confront a harsh reality. His sheer size and strength, once considered unbeatable advantages, were neutralized by Fatu's relentless assault. Being lifted and slammed so decisively damaged the aura Reed had built as an unstoppable powerhouse. Fans are already questioning whether Reed can bounce back, or if Fatu has permanently exposed his vulnerabilities. The rise of Jacob Fatu. Above all, the night belonged to Jacob Fatu. His performance was not about revenge alone, it was about establishing himself as a force to be reckoned with. His combination of power, agility, and ruthless intensity drew comparisons to some of WWE's all-time greats. For years, fans familiar with his family's wrestling heritage had predicted greatness. On this night, those predictions became undeniable reality. What comes next? The aftermath of Fatu's retaliation leaves WWE with countless possibilities. Will he pursue championship gold immediately, riding the wave of momentum? Will Breakker or Reed seek redemption, potentially leading to even bigger clashes in the future? What's clear is that Fatu is no longer a rising star. He is already a headline attraction. Every competitor in the locker room will now think twice before crossing him. A defining WWE moment. This was more than a revenge attack. It was a career-defining moment. The WWE Universe witnessed the transformation of Jacob Fatu from a man under siege to a dominant superstar carving his legacy. Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed may recover, but they will forever carry the memory of this night. And fans will remember it as the night Jacob Fatu stepped out of the shadows and into the spotlight as one of WWE's most dangerous competitors. Conclusion: revenge complete. A new era begins. Jacob Fatu's retaliation against Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed will be remembered as one of the most shocking and impactful moments in recent WWE history. It was not just about revenge, it was about respect, heritage, and destiny. The night ended with one undeniable truth. Jacob Fatu has arrived, and the era of his dominance has officially begun.